I speak to a lot of business owners, some who have been doing it for decades, and some are really only just starting out. And over time, I've started to notice some interesting patterns. It's not just about having the right product or strategy, it's about how you think, how you approach problems, and how you adapt when things inevitably don't go to plan, and they don't. So here's what I've learned from the people I've met who are really thriving with their business at the moment. First, they prioritize progress over perfection. I can't tell you how many people I've seen get stuck in the planning phase, tinkering with their website, reworking, trying to perfect everything, and holding off until things are just right. But the ones who get the results move. They launch, test, listen, and iterate. They understand that done is often better than perfect, because in my experience, momentum beats theory every time. And you'll hear in a lot of my videos, momentum, momentum, momentum. It's so important. These people aren't reckless. They're just not paralyzed by the idea that everything has to be flawless before taking action. And it makes a big difference when making progress with their business. Now, as a real-world example, when I launched Crunch in 2009, I didn't launch it with a full online accounting software. We launched it with just invoicing and expensing working, and the rest of the software was left as a framework to be built later. We surrounded it with accountants and account managers to do the rest manually. This got us out the gate much faster for an absolute fraction of the build price, and from the 8th of April 2009, we started taking on full fee paying clients, and that felt amazing. We had revenue coming in. So with revenue flowing, we hired more engineers and built each part of the accounting software depending on what was causing the most manual effort. Second, they step out of the day-to-day. Look, every founder wears all the hats in the early days. That's completely normal. But the ones who stay there, micromanaging every detail, answering every email, managing every invoice, hit a wall. The ones who really thrive learn to delegate. They build systems that don't solely rely on them. They stop trying to be the business and start building a business that works without them being in the middle of everything. I've had some friends and customers tell me it felt scary at first, handing things off. But once they did, they found they had much better headspace to think strategically, focus on growth, and do the best work. Third, they stop being afraid of getting it wrong. Fear of failure is natural, but when you are successful, you don't let it run the show. You need to treat failure like feedback because it's all useful data. It's that essential course correction your business needs. For successful people, when something doesn't work out, they don't take it personally. They ask, what did we learn from this? Then they adjust and move forward. I mean, of course, there are times when I've walked around the block for a breath of fresh air, swearing under my breath. You just learn from it and move on. Perfectionists often don't realise that the fear of failing is actually a fear of looking bad. Thriving business owners are too focused on building something that matters to worry about any of that. Fourth, they stop comparing and start focusing. This one's massive, especially with how noisy things are online. When you are constantly comparing your business to someone else's big win on LinkedIn or Instagram, it's easy to feel like you're behind. But here's the truth. You don't know what's really going on in someone else's business. You're not seeing the full picture of their business anyway, so stop comparing. The business owners who excel are the ones who are focused and know their numbers. They know their plan, and they're far too busy building to worry about someone else's success post. And lastly, they play the long game. There's a difference between hustling and building. The founders who are just chasing next month's cash flow may stay afloat for a while, but eventually they probably start to hit a plateau. The ones I see winning over the long term are making decisions based on where they want to be in 3 or 5 or 10 years. They invest in relationships, they really look after their team, They make sure client experience is always top notch, and importantly, they really care about the reputation of the business. They're not just trying to make money, they're trying to build something that lasts. Running a business isn't easy, but I've learned this. It's not just what you do that matters, it's how you think about it. Get that right and everything else starts to click into place. I reference this one regularly. If you love business success stories, then you have to watch the story of Ben Leonard, who built a super successful gym brand from absolutely nothing. From gym to gold, how Ben Leonard built Beast Gear. Ben naturally follows every step of this essential mindset for entrepreneurs. He gets his first gym product, a skipping rope, out into the market with only £2,500.